Hi, and welcome to Opal Business Solutions Business Central channel. I'm Robin Jenkins, and today we're going to go through GL budgets. I have already arrived at the GL budgets page, and to get there, you would go through the looking glass and you would type G/L space BUD, and it comes right up and brings you to this window. And I'm going to go ahead and create a budget manually first. There are three different ways that we can do budgets in Business Central. One is to create it manually, two is to copy it, and three is to export it and modify it and then import it back in. So let's go ahead and create a budget manually here. I'm going to call this fiscal year 25 in my ID. And I'm going to give it a description of fiscal year 2025 here. And across the top, you'll see that I do have global dimension 1, 2, and then 4 additional dimensions that I can budget by. In this scenario, I'm only using 2 dimensions. One is department and the other is customer group. Once I've created my ID and my description, I can now click on Edit Budget, and I can see that I've arrived at the detail window. We have a general tab here. You can view it by different periods, day, week, month, quarter, and so forth. You can show as lines. What that means is this right now is shown as a GL account on this column going down, but I could change that to a dimension or a period, and the same for the column as well. I could change the view across the top to a dimension, a period, or a GL account as well. Down below the budget matrix window, you have in the budget matrix window, you have the code, the name, and then the periods here in this view. Below that, we can filter by date. So we're creating a calendar budget. And if you were creating a fiscal year, you would simply change the dates here and it would allow the display to change. We can filter this further by GL account or accounts, category, GL account category. We can filter it by all accounts, income statement, or balance sheet, and then again by any of the dimensions. So I'm just going to go ahead and go on in here, and I'm going to put a budget in for my sales team. And I'm going to change my view actually to quarterly. And notice that in the column budgeted amount, it brings me to a full added total of these amounts to bring us to 90,000. I can click on that amount. It brings me into a list view where across the top you can see the columns are budget name, date, account number, description, and then I have 2 dimensions here. I'm going to go ahead and go edit list because I want to budget by department for this scenario. And moving down, if I go down to the next row down and I hit F8, it will fill in the value from above. So that's a good hot tip. So F8 and down arrow F8, and now I'll be going out of that. And that is one way to create a budget manually. Now, should I want to copy this budget, I just simply click copy budget up here. I select my values from my last use options and filters, my default values. I'm going to use my source of GL budget entry and my name. And then I'm selecting my dimensions as columns, and I'm going to create it, copy it to budget name FY26. I'm going to say okay. It's going to create it, and then it'll copy it, and then it says it was successfully copied. And to validate that, I'll go back and notice I do now have a new row below. And I'm just going to touch up the description here. And then I'm going to go into this budget by highlighting the row and clicking edit budget. Once I'm in, I can see that it replicated exactly the budget. From here, I'm free to modify it any way I so choose fit. Now, should I want to budget for more than one department, I would simply click on Export to Excel. I want my date to start on January the 1st, 12 periods, they're a month. Again, selecting my dimensions as columns. I am going to bring out 25. I want to bring this budget out, and I'm going to say okay. And once that comes out, I can open it up, and across the top are columns that list the account name, the description, and the dimensions as well, if you can see that, as well as the periods. So you can see my department code is here. If I go straight down to this, I'm going to copy it and I'm going to insert it there. And then I'm going to change my department to ADM and I'm going to change my amounts. And I'm simply going to save that and close out. And now I'm going to go to import from Excel. I'm going to change my description here to today's date. You can put anything there you'd like. I am going to replace entries, but you do have the option to add entries. And my budget should be 25, even though I'm on 26, I'm going to say 25 and say, okay. I'm going to pull my file here and I'm going to say yes and okay. And then I'm going to pull up my budget for 25 and take a look and see what happened. Now, by clicking on this budgeted amount, I can go in and now I can see that both of my sales departments have been budgeted. That concludes our tutorial for budgets in Business Central. Thanks so much for stopping by, Opal. See you next time.